Wednesday, September 4th, 2024. This week would be a turning of the page week for most. The kids are back into school. Weather's starting to cool down in some spots. Clearly not here, but some spots. Football's back. About to get the NFL back this weekend. Should be exciting. Last week was good. Among the games mentioned last week, there were pretty impressive performances on and off the field. Most impressive on the field was R.E.N Hampton from North Carolina. Had a 100-yard game. He was very old school feel. He's like a battering ram of a running back. He reminded me a lot of Steven Jackson. He was really impressive to watch. He had a specific play where dove for a first down and essentially ended up doing a front flip in midair. You know you've done something impressive when it is equally mesmerizing to watch in full speed as it is to watch with a Biggie Smalls montage into an ad break, multiple view replay of it. So that was stunning to watch. Also in that game, best performance off the field was the Minnesota Pyro team. Somebody got a little too excited. Minnesota, for those who didn't see the game, was going for a game-winning field goal with a seemingly sure-shot kicker, Dragan Kesic. He went to kick a 47-yard game winner. It just missed wide right. Pretty typical Minnesota finish. And at home, the fireworks team lit off the fireworks as time expired. So not only did he miss the kick, but had to watch fireworks go off in that end zone while they had lost the game. So not only did he miss the kick, but he had to watch as the fireworks went off in that end zone as the ball sailed wide right, almost simultaneously with the fireworks starting. Also had maybe the bravest move I've ever seen on a football field in the Western Michigan-Wisconsin game that night. Defensive back hurdled a ref in the middle of a play and didn't get ejected. That might have been the most impressive part of it. Had a really exciting game, too, that came down to the last minute between Colorado and North Dakota State. Colorado looks like they're picking up right where they left off. They kind of feel like the same team this year, where they could score 50 on any given day and also give up 50 on any given day. But what was really surprising to me, I've never seen this approach before, which clearly showed how little faith Colorado had in their offensive line. Up by 5 with 2 minutes left. NDSU had 2 timeouts. Colorado ran what would amount to 6 consecutive pass plays in a row. I've never seen that. I don't totally blame them. Their offensive line got pushed around the whole game, but I've never seen a team throw 6 consecutive times up 5 with less than 2 minutes left, so that was unique. I think we got a better game than most people were expecting out of LSU and USC. USC with the upset in Vegas. That was pretty exciting. And then the headline that caught everyone's eyes Monday night was Florida State off to a rough start. Lost again to Boston College at home. And it sent the internet on a manhunt for one specific FSU fan who claimed after last week's loss to Georgia Tech that if the Noles were to lose again this week meaning their game against Boston College, which did not go their way, he would eat dog crap out of a cup with a spoon on video. And unfortunately for this guy, not only did they lose, but they went down right away. So maybe 7 or 8 minutes into the game, it was 14-0 Boston College, and this guy's account went blank and set off this manhunt for him. Some people claim to know who he is, what he does, where he's at. It'll be an ongoing story, I'm sure, to see if this guy actually does follow through with it. Had a listener request this week for the first time, and it was to give a 2-minute history lesson on something random. The most random thing that came to mind was a ladle, and did some deep diving on this one. Although the use of ladles in Europe can be traced back to the Roman Empire, and the production of silver flatware is seen in Sheffield, England, from as early as the 13th century, silver ladles were not widespread until the mid-18th century following the rise in popularity of the silver soup tureen. This might come as a shock, but ladles are also a part of religious rituals in many cultures. In a Japanese temple, a wooden ladle is known as a hishaku, is used in performing chozu, a ritual required before entering the temple, signifying self-purification. Thank you, Google, for the assist. NFL starts back up this week. Tomorrow night is the AFC Championship rematch, Ravens and Chiefs. Friday night, the NFL plays a regular season game in Brazil for the first time ever. Packers and Eagles, that should be unique. It'll be the first football weekend in most people's lifetimes where neither Nick Saban nor Bill Belichick will be on a sideline anywhere. So that'll be different. And with movies, I finally got around to watching A Quiet Place Day One. It did not disappoint. It's one of the rare series where you could watch it backwards to front or front to back, just with the way the story plays out. It's very simplistic, but yet each film, if you watch it in the order they were released, gets progressively better. It's one of the rare instances where the sequel outdoes the original, and the sequel to the sequel outdoes the second film, which was really impressive. Any movie that's got Alex Wolff in it right now is a just automatic must-see for me. Everything he's been in, he's been great, and this was no exception. Definitely worth the watch on Paramount Plus for those who have it. I'll be leaving a link to the Sleeper, Survivor, and Pick'em pools in the comments if you want to do that for the NFL this year. Always open to listener requests, and excited to hear which game you want to watch the most this weekend. And with movies, I finally got around to watching A Quiet Place Day One. It did not disappoint. It's one of the rare series where you could watch it backwards to front or front to back, just with the way the story plays out. It's very simplistic, but yet each film, if you watch it in the order they were released, gets progressively better. It's one of the rare instances where the sequel outdoes the original, and the sequel to the sequel outdoes the second film, which was really impressive. Any movie that's got Alex Wolff in it right now is a just automatic must-see for me. Everything he's been in, he's been great, and this was no exception. Definitely worth the watch on Paramount Plus for those who have it. I'll be leaving a link to the Sleeper, Survivor, and Pick'em pools in the comments if you want to do that for the NFL this year. Always open to listener requests, and excited to hear which game you want to watch the most this weekend.